My name is Alanson Jared Charles.
Thanks for sitting down with me, Alanson. So we've got some story prompts if you wanted to cue off of one of those, or
Sure,
Talk
any
to
one
me.
of those. Well, I came here to find you, evidently.
apparently.
That's what happens, you
Okay.
know, when you're doing that thing. What Santa Barbara is such an important inspiration to me. I kind of lucked out in the draw of the UC program. I always like to tell the story that I was held hostage as a teenager in a basement in New Jersey during the snowstorms and this horrible gray weather that we just had. And I had nothing but a drum set and basically the soundtrack of the music that I'm playing right now. Top 40 from 1980 or whatever. 1970, before that. One thing led to another. I ended up in Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara, and I realized that we were pretty close to what might be considered perfect on Earth, you know. And I wanted to go to UCLA because that was the big name, but you know, the luck of the draw and whatever algorithm they were using at the time put me in Santa Barbara. And my neighbors, I just can't forget how, like, oh my gosh, that's it. You will never come back.
It's hard to leave once you're here.
You know, and it just keeps getting better and better. It really does. So I got to start here in 1980 as an undergrad at UCSB, and then flailed my way through school. But, you know, one thing you get from UCSB, if nothing else, is the ability to show up, suit up, show up, give the best you have, you know. That's all. That's what's called, you know, college is really about, I think. So with that, I went into construction, and because my friend who never went to college, he's still one of my best friends. The story is that I came from the East Coast, and we had dropped the drinking age from 21 to 18, and I was 16 when that happened, and I was already heavily into my, you know, cups, so to speak, and I went to a school at New England College who liked to, you know, be a party school too. So obviously there was something about that. You know, UCSB is another one of those classic party schools. So, you know, classic party school, but I'm 20 and it's 21. So I didn't.
You kind of went
Like,
backwards
what am I
there,
gonna do here?
coming to
This is-
California.
Yeah, you know how that is. So I went to the biggest guy I could find at the end of the hallway of my apartment, and you know, he was 21, so he bought the beer, and we were on, game on. But he never went to school. I went to school. I did all that stuff, and he just went to work in construction and seemed to be making a pretty decent living. And when I got out of school, like, what am I going to do for a living? So I just, like, can I get a job? And so we, you know, did drywall and learned all the basic ways of construction in Santa Barbara. And I went back to him today, or just yesterday, 43 years later. I said, "You're the one who taught me how to work. I know how to work. I've scared some people because we were really fast. We would just get stuff done." Anyhow.
What was your area of study at UCSB?
So it's called Letters in Science, but I was mostly into the art program there. I mean, I'm a creative and a polymath, so I already was programmed with stuff I already knew, but just trying to catch up with that is what I'm doing for the rest of my life here now. You know, and now it's starting to come into focus, which is a beautiful thing. So we're meeting today, 43 years later. I'm with a company that's doing emergency shelter.
Beautiful.
What I studied was whole systems design, and so it's a real left-right. You know, we're in a pluralist time. There's never been a more pluralist time in our country than we are right now since the Civil War. So we're in that pluralist time, and this is where polarity is actually a law of the universe. We have to be polarized.
We
You know?
stay stuck if we're not.
Well, you know, as above, so below, as below, so above. I mean, it's all happening at the same time. It has to be scalable. It has to be, if it works for the individual, it works for the group. So I bring that to the table today. This is so exciting to talk to. I don't even know who this is going to go to on Earth Day, but Santa Barbara Earth Day is the best Earth Day.
It is.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just too, no matter what. And this particular one has been just an amazing thing. So we're with a shelter company. that we can do instant shelter. Okay. So when the call came to me, it was one of those that got me out of bed in the middle of the night. Like, you're going to do this thing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that thing. You know, you will positively affect more people in the world through housing than anyone else.
What's it called?
That's the thing.
Your organization.
That's the thing. Housing. To be homeful. My job, see, I had to go to school to learn how to change the word from homeless to homeful. Mm-hmm. From hungery to hungerless.
So are you manufacturing these shelters? Is it still in the dream state?
No, it's real.
Okay.
So that's how so it came to me, like, there is a deficit of housing. So what do we do? Okay. So I went to the math board. I went to the right side of my brain, and I said, okay, how many houses do we need? Let's get them done. And I found a technology by which you could build a house every 30 minutes if you wanted to on a downline thing. And I'm like, okay, and we could take this around the world on ships and stuff and go and go and go. So I came to the solution of what the problem was. Now, what is the problem? We have the solution. Mm-hmm. What is that problem?
What are your shelters made from?
Now, remember, too, this is happening right in the shadow of the LA riots and the earthquake. So we had just been devastated by anything that was not held down was moved around, as you know. Mm-hmm. And then there was this huge riot where things were burning and people were burning their neighborhoods. So my thinking is, how do I address this situation? And I thought numbers was the thing, but the people who need the house can't afford the house. Mm-hmm. Okay. But if you provide houses, and so now go back to school. So I just... Somehow my grandma died and gave me some money. Like, you do what you want to do now, son. So I was able to go back to school. I applied at Art Center College of Design in Pasadena with a business plan to make more houses than anyone else. And that's about it.
All right.
They said, okay, we got to settle down. Let's go back and take a look. And so I met a fantastic professor there named Steve Diskin, who came from Harvard School of Architecture and was just guest teaching. And he turned me on to the big deal, which was Bucky Fuller and Spaceship Earth and whole systems thinking. It's what's called now whole systems thinking. Mm-hmm. So housing is 1/5 of the whole system. So here I am with 1/5 of a system at a design school that I didn't really know what I was doing there. I mean, I can paint a little bit, I can draw a little bit. I'm not by any means a master. What I'm coming with is a theory, like how to package this thing, how to make it available so everyone can understand. We just need 5 things. Mm-hmm. But that didn't occur to me until after I'd already had been introduced to whole systems thinking through Buckminster Fuller, through John Todd, through the Whole Earth Catalog, through this fantastic Steve Diskin, who turned me on to this stuff. Took me to his side and said, okay, we're not going to deal with that other thing. We're going to deal with this thing. One thing led to another, as they always do. And then I'm with Nader Khalili. Nader Khalili was out in Hesperia. He was a SciArc professor dealing with this homeless situation. How to get 1 million houses to 1 million people is to teach each person to build one house.
The shortest distance between 2 places.
Yeah.
Right?
That opens up the whole thing. Now I went back to historical research as to what makes humanity such that we are. How can we take over this planet so darn fast? I mean...
Yeah, and when you're trying to shelter a lot of people who need homes. Thank you for your good work.
Well,
That's a beautiful
I was just
thing.
talking about this today. It comes right back to Santa Barbara and Yananali and right back to Mississippi. You see, this whole thing is about what it was to be homeful. In just before, okay, I like to say, so 1492, 1491. In 1491, the people in North America had no idea what it was like to be without a place to sleep tonight. Mm-hmm. Water, they knew every stream was pristine. Food was wherever you wanted to find it. And your job was just to do that. Mm-hmm. And not and have your integrity intact. So the highest level of being native, and look at Aboriginals. The originals, by the way, not Aboriginal. The original people leave no trace.
We have a lot to learn and a long way to go. Absolutely.
No,
Thank
in fact,
you.
not. It's actually, we have a lot to learn, and it's just right there. So here we are.
Well, thanks for helping us get there.
Well, that's what we're doing
Appreciate
today.
what you're
So we
doing.
bring the house, but it's a temporary house. The last thing I want to leave you with is this. So the vision I have is, instead of being not in my backyard, we're the thing that you want in your backyard. Because we bring housing, we bring water, we bring food for our people. We always produce more than we need so we can give back to the community. And then at the end of the day, we leave a food forest as a thank you gift.
Last question. What's the name of your organization?
My organization is called playwholeearthgame.org,
Okay. Thank you.
and you can find me on the web.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for sitting down with me.
We have all received a gift, an expected or anticipated gift for a birthday, anniversary, retirement. Each time we receive that gift, whether it meets our expectation, we feel something. Happy, sad, disappointed. The gifts that are unexpected, unconditional, small or large, have the potential of changing the trajectory of a life. Someone pays for your groceries when you're out of money, leaves you a big tip just when you think you can't afford your rent. Those are the gifts that ease our fears, make us grateful, and want to help others. This is a space where we share how those gifts, big or small, make a difference and change our lives. Welcome to the Starfish Connection.